Another issue is leaking in the well casing. And this has been one of the complaints so far that people have most been worried about, and apparently they've had some issues in New York State already on this. There's a couple of problems. First of all, when you first drill down through, you're supposed to use a drilling mud and some other things. You have a well casing and so forth that prevents, as the drill is going down through the rock, anything from sort of contaminating. So as you're going down through, you're probably going to hit an aquifer, which is where the drinking water is. And then you might go down through maybe a impermeable surface where there's really nothing, it's just there. And then maybe when you hit this layer, you're hitting another type of rock that may or may not have some impurities in it. Rock has stuff in it. It has all sorts of heavy metals. It has all sorts of things in it. As it goes down through, it may hit some areas where it actually does release some natural gas initially. And if they're not careful, that can actually come back up the pipe. If it comes back up the pipe up here, they actually have a special device which keeps it from escaping into the atmosphere, blowing up, and so forth. The problem is if they don't do the casing properly, it can escape into the surrounding rock and eventually come up somewhere else. And so that can be an issue. Or it can bubble up through your water, get trapped in your water for a while, then that can end up in your drinking water. So they're supposed to do special casing to keep that from happening. Most drillers are very good about that, are very careful. They don't want that sort of an accident, so they are careful for that. The next problem is that when you put the cement down, so you put the cement through the cement casing. Now, if the cement casing is not properly set before you start bringing up the natural gas, or if it's poor quality cement, then you have problems with leakage again. The problem in New York was that there was actually a layer of rock. It was part of an old ocean, and it was filled, all the pores were filled with not drinking water, but salt water, okay, from an old lake, or an old, what we call a Pyrex Sea. So it's an old ocean. It had all kinds of salt water in the pores, and they didn't have it properly cased, and so the salt water came up through the edge and got into the drinking water and contaminated the drinking water. It doesn't take a lot of salt to contaminate drinking water to the point where you can't drink it anymore. So that was a serious problem. And they have to be really careful to case it properly so that doesn't happen. The other issue is contamination of the drinking water. Fracking fluids, if they escape into the drinking water level, can contaminate it. Also impurities in the rock. Again, there's sulfurs, all sorts of things in the rock. If they escape through here into the drinking water, that can be a problem. And then the natural gas itself. So the key is to make sure that this is properly cased. If it is, it's safe. If it isn't, then we have problems.